Now, if you're struggling with self-sabotage and you don't know where to start, here, right here on this podcast, we're building the community. I want to remind you, breaking self-sabotage patterns takes time. You've been operating like this for years, every decade, like hours. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small wins. We're building a community of people committed to breaking these cycles. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to Terror to Triumph. This is Alfonso Pelt. I'm your host today, and every time we air. So I want to let you guys know that I appreciate you for coming and viewing our show. Appreciate everybody that's chiming in all over the globe. And I want to thank you all for listening, downloading, subscribing, and everything that you do to help keep this conversation going. I, of course, for the newcomers, am a childhood trauma survivor, and I have lived a precarious life because of it. I wouldn't say my story is all sunshine and bunnies. I had a lot of hard days, a lot, and continuing to learn how to evolve past all of that. So this podcast is for those of you who may be suffering with the problems of childhood trauma, the behavioral patterns that have been ingrained in us as a result of suffering that trauma that we carry into our adult lives. And this is a platform to bridge the gap between survivor and help. I do this not for self-gain, but I do this because I believe that there is a need to bridge this gap. And I have not yet seen another platform that does that. So I said, I'm going to take the initiative to do it myself. I don't want anybody to suffer like I had. You know, when I went through it, there were no platforms like this. There was no internet. There were no support groups. I think AA was the only support group out there at the time. And they were getting nationwide recognition for what they did. But there was no SA group, sexual assault group. There was no childhood victimization group. There was nothing. Between the person who had been victimized and getting the help they need, there was a huge gap. There still is today. People are starting to talk about sexual assault as far as it goes with children, but it's like a taboo subject. It's like, we know what's happening, but we don't want to say it. We don't want to verbalize it. That makes it kind of go away so we can feel better about doing whatever we do during our day. Time out for that. Time out for that, because giving silence to that actually hurts the victim and empowers the person who caused the hurt in the first place. So this podcast is not for the faint of heart. This podcast is honest, brutally sometimes. And this podcast gives information to those who actually need help. Actionable help right now as you need it. We give a lot of information on this platform to people who have suffered. And suffering can take you in different directions in life. I'm a prime example of that. That's why I created this Q&A session, Tuesday's Q&A, and you can ask me any questions you want. We are live on our Facebook account, on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page, that is. And we're also live on our YouTube channel, which is Terror to Triumph Live on YouTube. So if you want to go and check out that, or if you're already there, that's fine. Go ahead and do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends, anybody who you know might need to hear from another survivor. I'm here to tell my tale. Know that you are not alone in this journey, your healing journey. You want to start it, you don't know how, this is a good place to go. We give you all the support you need to try to get you to a therapist, somebody who can actually give you the keys to unlock your future, to the healing, to get back what God meant for you to have. Okay? So, without further ado, I want anybody who wants to comment. You are free to do so. Today is the day for that. Give your comments, post your comments, tell us everything that you want to say or you want to mention, any suggestions or comments. If you want to ask me a question about what's going on with me, what happened in my history or anything like that, that's fine too. You can also say that too. And I'm looking forward to talking to anybody who wants to commune with me today. Otherwise, I do have information for you. I'll always have information for my listeners. If there are no questions or no comments, I will go ahead and proceed to give you information. So, I don't see any comments. Oh, let me tell you, this ticker tape down here at the bottom of the screen, down here at the bottom of the screen, is giving out a whole bunch of pertinent information that could be helpful to somebody who is in need right now. If you look, you can see there are numbers to national hotlines that are 24/7 active. Somebody's always manning these calls. If you need somebody, if you need to get some help, or you need somebody to find a way to get some help, these numbers are always on our platform, and they will continue to scroll across the bottom through the duration of our platform. So you can have a chance. They'll continue to keep scrolling in a loop. So if you missed the number, you can always come back and get it later. Okay. All right. So continuing on our Q&A session, we were talking recently about how to accept or how to love someone who's in denial. And last week we talked about, stop trying to convince them. Okay. So this week we're moving on into the next section of that talk, and that is setting boundaries. Okay. Now, you can love someone without accepting their denial. You can say, I love you, but I can't listen to you minimize your experience. And when you hear them say, oh, it's not that bad, it's not that serious, I'm past it, all that. They're minimizing. And if you want them to get help, you can say these things. Or you can say, I care about you, but I can't support you staying stuck because it's hurting you to see them like this. And you want them to get the help they need. So you can say things like that. Or you can say, I'm here for you, but I won't enable your denial, which means I'm not going to sit here and watch you go through the motions and say there is nothing wrong with you when obviously something is going on. So we have to address the elephant in the room. That elephant is not paying rent. Okay. Model vulnerability. What is that? You can show them what healing feels like. I'm pretty sure this will be a big step in helping them overcome their denial. See, when we are in denial as survivors, when we're in denial, we don't want to touch the issue that's hurting us because the fear of reliving those moments, we don't want to experience that fear. That's like saying if you had a finger that got cut off, how excruciating that pain would be. If someone said, let me cut another finger off, that would be excruciating as well, but you don't want to relive that experience. So you deny, no, I'm not going back through that. No. So it's kind of like that. Only it's like a repeat. Cut one finger off, you sew it back on. The finger doesn't work the same though. But then you cut the finger off again. You want to keep cutting the same finger off, sewing it back. So people, you have to take another approach. Instead of direct, being forceful, trying to challenge them and tell them they need help, you can offer support by saying, excuse me, my ear is itching. You can offer support by saying, you know, I had some issues too in my past. And you can share your pain and your stories and your hurt to relate, to help them know that, hey, this person is suffering too. Maybe they know something that I don't, maybe I can open up to them and talk to them about it. The more you open up yourself and make yourself vulnerable could open the doorway to them opening up to you. When they realize that they have a safe space, that they can open up, they will eventually, but you have to make the space safe for them, which means you can't challenge them, you can't batter them, you can't nag them, you can't force them. You have to be patient. You have to give them time. And you have to be open yourself. You can set boundaries, but be careful when setting boundaries. Because setting a boundary might feel like you're putting up a gate that they can't travail. And knowing myself as a survivor, that'll make me turn and go in the opposite direction. So let them know you're hurting. That will make them want to open up to you, or that will make them more sensitive to your position. Okay? All right. Moving on. When you show them what healing looks like from your own personal situation, you're sharing your own journey. You're being honest about your own struggles. Okay? When they see you being vulnerable like that and surviving, it might inspire them to try. So you have to be a model for inspiration. That might take a little time. My nose is shiny. Excuse me, I have to make sure I ain't got nothing on my face. Might be some glue from work or something. Like I told you, I work midnight, so when I come home, I start right away setting up for this. So I apologize if I got anything on my face or anything. Like I've been rushing, trying to get this together. Okay. What? Try. I want you to try this. Try to offer support without pressure. How do you do that? You can say things like, if you ever want to talk, I'm here. That's leaving the door open for them to walk through without telling them they have to go through it. You're giving them the option to say, okay, if I ever get to a point where I need to, or if I'm feeling down, or I'm feeling like I'm in a critical situation, or my anxiety starting to act up, or I feel triggered, if she is or he is opening up a safe space for me, being vulnerable and letting me have a leeway to come and say, I have an opportunity to talk. I can use that and say, remember when you said if I had issue that I wanted to talk about, well, something's going on with me right now and I need somebody to talk to. Would you be willing to talk to me? I mean, I got some stuff I need to unload. Can you help me? So my therapist says unpack. You got a lot to unpack. I got a lot of unpacking to do. Miss Therapist, if you're listening, I still got a lot of unpacking to do. Okay. I need you. All right. You can also say, when you're ready to get help, I'll support you. Letting them know you're walking with them as they go through each step of the journey. Okay. Don't just say, you need to go get help and let them feel like they're isolated in their pain. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't make them feel they already feel like they're alone in this situation. Like you might turn on them and they'll really be alone. Help them know that you will be with them every step of the way. Give them opportunity to say, I'm not going anywhere, you know. And if you need me to walk with you through this, I'll walk with you. I don't have no problem walking with you. Whenever you're ready, though, I'm not rushing you. I just want you to know that I'm here. And sometimes I'm hurt from the situation. And I want you to be a better version of you. Oh, that's how you know this is live. I kicked the tripod stand. So anyway, don't push. Just let them know that you're available. Okay? Now, we're going on to another step. This one is to take care of yourself. Okay? If you're in a relationship with your significant other and they're in denial, you still have to take care of yourself. Okay? Don't take all the weight on your own. Don't take all the pain on your own. Let them try to come to you. Give them the avenues to come to you. But you can't keep pouring into an empty cup. Okay? You have to take some time for yourself. It'll be exhausting doing that. I can imagine because I know I have been exhausting in my last marriage. My 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 significant other can tell you how exhausting I was in that marriage before I started seeing a therapist. She could tell you. I know it was like she was ready to pull her hair out dealing with me in my situation. I was in denial and I didn't want to face it. I didn't want to believe something was wrong with me, even though I could see things wrong with me. I knew things were wrong with me. I didn't want to address those issues, though. You see what I'm saying? Even into your adult life, the trauma still affects you. It affects you. You might not want to think it does, but it does. And it not only affects you, it affects everyone around you, everyone you're in contact with, especially your significant other. And they deserve to have a better relationship. You deserve to have one too, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with them. And sometimes that takes a hard road to manage. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet, as they say, and say, you know what? I'm tired of living like this. Okay. If you're exhausted from helping someone who's in denial, who won't help themselves, maybe you need to step back. Your healing matters too now. You can't you can't just try to keep trying to help somebody and it's hurting you. And then you're depleted emotionally and you can't help them anymore if you need help yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's like what they say. If you keep giving, keep giving, eventually the giving is going to run dry. You're going to run empty. And then you're going to need the help. And then the people you're giving to, they don't have anything to give back. So now you're in a barren state. You don't want to get there. You don't want to get there. Sorry about that. I had an eyelash falling in my eye. So I want to proceed into the next step. This one is like for people who have been long term in a relationship. Maybe you have to listen to this. It depends on where you're at in your relationship, but you probably would need to learn when to walk away. Sometimes loving someone means letting them go. If their denial is harming you, if they're hurting you, you have the right to distance yourself. You have the right to protect yourself. You have the right to honor your health. You can't put people's health above your own. You have to have a medium of equality so that one doesn't overpower the other. In a relationship, there must be balance. There is no balance. Imbalance causes much friction, much complications, much problems. So you're not abandoning them. You're protecting yourself. Okay. Wow. And I'm just flashbacks of my wife. She wasn't abandoning me. She was protecting herself. She was protecting herself. Wow. That just hit home for real. That really hit home. See, on this podcast, I do this for other survivors, but I learn as I'm going too. And it's not a cakewalk for me. You know what I'm saying? I get stabbed in the heart sometimes, learning new information that I never knew before. And this was something new. This was something new. And she did that. She had to distance herself from me because I was hurting her. And I didn't realize it. Or I knew I was hurting her, but I didn't know how to stop being in denial. That's why, okay. I'm going to stop there. Going forward with the steps, we'll pick up next week on Tuesday with the steps. But I want to interject some personal stuff here, okay, if I may. With my second marriage, near the end, I had to get to a breaking point, okay? That was not easy at all. It forced me to look at myself, not just looking in the mirror. I mean, really looking at yourself. She had been complaining for years. She had been complaining for years. I didn't realize I was hurting her for that long. I didn't. I didn't think I was hurting her at all while I was going through it, my denial. But at the end, the discussions came, the realism came, the harsh reality was hitting me slap dab in the face. And that was a very bitter pill to swallow. That I had to say the things I needed to say that were hurting me, that I didn't want to address because I was in denial. I had to tell my wife, oh, that was hard. That was one of the hardest days of my life. We went outside and we sat in the car. We had a real conversation. And it was it was excuse me. It was incredibly difficult to have that conversation with her. But I bless her heart. She kept trying to pry, get me to talk, because I was clammed up, and I would not open up to her to tell her what was really going on in my heart. But that day, I broke, and I told her things that I was keeping to myself, hidden from everybody in the world, that was deep down in my heart. I had to let it out. She deserved to know that. And the 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 pain that was in her face as I was explaining these things, you guys couldn't understand the pain that I caused this woman. We were together 8 years at that point, and she was listening to me sob and tell things that hurt her even more and made her question me. Like, why would you even get married knowing these things about you? It's not an easy thing to tell people these things about yourself. You don't want to believe that there's something wrong with you. You want to believe everything's okay, that I can function as a normal human being regardless of what I've been through. But after years and years and years of discussions, arguing, do, doing stupid shit over and over again, not understanding why I did these things. Sometimes near the end, I started questioning why the hell I keep doing this stuff. I don't know why I keep doing these stupid things. And to myself, I was saying at the time, "Oh, it's not that important. It's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of an issue." But it was to her. And it meant something to her. As we are supposed to be a couple, I was still doing things as if I was single. She would tell me that. And I, being in denial, brushed it off. You see how much pain I caused somebody because of that? That could be what you're doing right now to your significant other. I use my own example and my pain and my reality to share with you, to let you know this is a real issue. This is a real thing. This is not Mr. Dress Up, okay? Trauma, unchecked, can cause harm to others, emotional harm, mental harm. People, the cycle begins with us and ends with someone else. If you don't break this cycle of pain that you're causing your significant other, you're going to continue to cause them pain. You're going to have them walk out of your life. And then you're going to continue the process with a new person. Why do that to yourself? We have to talk realism now. This is as real as it gets right here. Bare bones. Quit fucking around. You're hurting people. People you love. This is called self-sabotage. This is the prime example of what it is. You love them. You tell them that you love them. You really feel that you love them, but you're doing things that's causing them to want to walk away from you. I'm talking to the survivors out here. This episode was for the people who are in relationships with survivors. How do you love someone who's in denial? That's true. That's what this is for. But that message I just gave you, that was for my survivors. You guys have to know this. Trauma has you hurting people. If left unchecked and you don't go seek help, you will hurt people. Unintentionally as it may be, it's going to happen. So I really implore all my survivors, please listen to the past podcasts. Please, please seek help. We've got shows that we've done where we tell you about how to find therapists. We have shows where we tell you how to go and seek help, how to ask questions, what to ask, what to look for in a therapist. But the main key is you have to take that first step. You have to say, there's something wrong with me. I can't keep doing this. That day that I told you about, that was one of the hardest days in my life. I've been to prison, and that day was harder than that. I had to admit to another human being my faults, my issues, the real ones, not the stuff that we tell everybody, on a daily basis. That's the fluff. That's the sugar on top. That's the coating. That's not the real stuff that's underneath all the layers of dust and muck and grime that you just covered up all these years. Trying to tell yourself you're okay, you're past it. You have to dig, folks. You got to dig. And you got to get in there. And you got to unlock that door and open it up wide and let all that bad stuff out. Holding it in all these years is going to affect you physically as well. There are studies on that. Emotional trauma can translate into physical issues. Folks, what are we doing? Are we really trying to seek help, or are we going to continue these cycles that hurt us? Are we going to continue these cycles that hurt our loved ones, our significant others, our children, our family, our friends? It's time to change. I want all of y'all to have the life God wanted y'all to have. But you have to take that first step. Just like you took that first step to God in the first place, Well, you said, okay, I give my life to you. You have to take the first step with yourself. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. Okay, something is wrong. All these people can't be saying the same thing, and ain't nothing wrong. I gotta really look into myself and say, yeah, I did this. I did that. I did that. I hurt you. I hurt you. I'm sorry. I did. I hurt you. I apologize. But I had to go deeper and say, these are the reasons that I'm doing this. I think maybe these could be the reasons. Maybe it could be what I suffered over these years is manifesting into me acting this way. You have to address it. You have to address it. That elephant ain't paying you no rent that's in your room, bro. It's taking up all the space. Get that elephant up out of here, man. Woman, I'm gender neutral. I'm not trying to care or be specific about gender. I'm just saying, whoever you are, you have trauma, you need to address that. It's the baby games, the playing and all that stuff. Time is over for that. You got to put your interests and all that stuff on the back burner. You got to get into this. You got to really dig into this for the sake of yourself, your future relationship or relationships. If you already are breaking up, you got to do yourself a favor. You love yourself enough to find help, to seek help. Love yourself enough to be honest with yourself that you need the help you need. Okay. I'm done with the rant. For the people who are in love and in relationships with people who are in denial, you heard the steps. And I will continue next Tuesday to give you the rest and finish this cycle up. But I am past my time as usual today. I thank you for joining Terror to Triumph. I am Alfonso Belt, your host. If you like what you heard, if it's helpful for you, if you think it'll be helpful for someone else, share it, tell a friend, repost, subscribe, like, comment, all of the above, all the buttons, hit all the buttons. Whatever platform you're on, hit all the buttons. Let people know, Terror to Triumph is here to bridge the gap, to help people who have suffered childhood trauma to get help. Okay? Not coming from somebody who hasn't suffered it, coming from somebody who has suffered multiple sessions of abuse. Okay? Me. I'm using the I message. I want to reach you where you're at. Okay? I will tell you everything about me in these Q&A sessions if you come and ask. All you got to do is ask. I don't even care if you make up a fake account so nobody realizes it's you. Make up a fake email and stuff. Come to the show and ask your questions. That's fine by me. As long as you can get what you need. That's all I care about. Okay? But if you want to support the show and you want to donate, that's fine. I could use the help. I'm coming out of pocket for this and it's not cheap. I would appreciate the help. So I created a website that you can go to buy some merchandise, and the merchandise actually helps support this platform. So I created those designs on the site, and they're the symbols for Terror to Triumph. Wrong side, right there. If you look up right there, Terror to Triumph, that symbol is on clothing, and you can purchase the sweatshirts, the t-shirts, the hats, all types of clothing, hoodies. I even got shoes I've created on there. So you can go and get some sneakers, leggings, cropped hoodies for the ladies. I mean, I got a lot of stuff on there. Y'all can go and check that out at peruse at your own leisure. But instead of just donating straight cash, you can do that. You can go to buzzsprout.com, find Terror to Triumph on there, and there's access for you to donate money if you just want to donate. But I figured I'd give you a way if you wanted to donate and have something to show for it. Instead of saying, oh, I just donated to this cause, you can actually have an item that you can wear to let people know that you supported the podcast. So again, go to www.peltsemporium.com. I'm going to give you the link right here at the bottom of the screen so you can go and look it up. As soon as I can find the link, I think that's it right there. Yeah, there it is. So you can go to this link and you can look it up and you can share it and tell other your friends, folks about it. Say, hey, this guy, he's got a podcast and he's trying to help survivors of childhood trauma. He's a survivor himself and he's got this merchandise and it's really cool. That's some good stuff over there. But you got to go and look, and purchase. There's no shipping and handling fees. Everything is at cost, so you can go and buy and peruse, and their stuff will arrive shortly. So, don't know what else to say. I've tried to do all the legwork to make it easy for you. So, yes, support, share, spin the block. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your loved ones, tell your significant other about the show. I need the word of mouth, you guys, to tell everybody. I tell everybody as it is, but I need you guys to help me spread the word because people need the help. I'm gonna say this statistic. I'm gonna keep saying this statistic over and over again until it reaches somebody and they can understand how serious childhood abuse is in our country. A university created a study about how many people in America suffer child abuse. They found that for every 10 Americans, just in America, now I'm just saying America, for every 10 Americans, 4 to 6 have suffered some form of child abuse. I call them the 4 horsemen. You have physical, mental, verbal, and sexual. So out of the 4 of those horsemen, 4 to 6 have suffered some form of them, or maybe multiples of those. Now, if broadening the picture, there's 360 some odd million people in America, okay? If you just break that down to 1 million people, 4 to 600,000 of them out of 1 million people have suffered some form of trauma. Now, here's the kicker. The statistic went on further to say those numbers are diminished because most survivors do not report the incident. I didn't report mine. None of them. None of the child abuse I received. Didn't report any of it. The beatings, the mental abuse, the physical abuse, and definitely not the sexual assault. I didn't report none of that. So if I didn't report the multiples that I received, how many of them out there more than the 4 to 6? It could be 7 to 8 out of 10. And now think about the people around you. Think about the people around you. Almost 70 to 80% of the people you know have received some form of child abuse. That's incredibly insane to think of the numbers like that. That's almost every other person you know. That's almost 70, 80%. You run across 10 people, and like 7 of them are probably child abuse survivors. That's how deep it is. And the numbers may be more than that. I don't know. But I'm saying there is a serious problem here in America. The Epstein files, the Trump issue, all of that is just the tip of the iceberg to what's going on here. They're just saying, okay, these people, because they're in the limelight, the Diddy situation, he's in the limelight, you know, the iceberg. But under the water is way huger, the way bigger than what it is on the surface. That's what we're dealing with. What's underneath the surface. Well, people, I was supposed to be on 30 minutes. It's going on 50 almost now. We're at 46. So I need to go. I need to give y'all a break. And I just want to let y'all know, I thank y'all for coming and checking out the show. Again, go to www.Peltz Emporium. Check out the merchandise there. Buy some merchandise if you want. I would appreciate it because the purchases there go to help support the podcast. If you want the conversations to continue, please support by going there and buying some merchandise. If you don't want to do that, you can go to Terror to Triumph at buzzsprout.com, where you can listen to the podcast. You can also donate financially there if you choose to go that route. My name is Alfonso Pelt. I thank you all for coming. Oh, before I forget, our podcast, this live broadcast is right here on our YouTube channel at Terror to Triumph Live. So you can go there and watch all the past videos that we got. We also got the podcast on Terror to YouTube, so you can check that out. And Suresh, hey, thank you for joining us. Greetings to you. Oh, from India. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you, brother, from joining in. I imagine it's nighttime there. I'm apologize, my brother. I know that's pretty late for you guys, but I thank you. I thank you so much for supporting the show, coming to be a listener and hearing how there is hope and help for people who have suffered trauma. I thank you for coming to the show, and I appreciate your comment. I wish you had got here earlier. Maybe I need to start the podcast a little later, for my people abroad, so you guys can catch on and actually have a chance to communicate back with me. Because on Tuesdays, it's Tuesday here in the States, United States, I do the Q&A here Tuesdays. So if that would work for you, let me know. Comment on this post on Facebook, and I would see if I can amend my schedule to be on a little later on Tuesdays to accommodate my brothers and sisters over in India. Thank you for coming and joining us. The last thing I'm going to say is that audio podcasts, we're on a lot of audio podcast platforms. Buzzsprout is our main host platform, but we're also on Spotify. We're on YouTube, of course. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on Player FM. We're on True Fans. We're on Podcast Addict. We're on Castbox. We're on, oh God, it's a lot of them, y'all. We're on a lot of platforms right now, and I invite you all to go to Listen Notes. Listen Notes is free. You can go there and check out any podcast you want. ListenNotes.com, and Listen Notes will give you the RSS feed for our podcast, and you can go there and check us out too. So we're branching out. We're getting out there. We're trying to reach our people as much as possible. This is a safe zone community for trauma survivors. So feel free to come and check in with us. All right. I said I was out of here 2 times already. I really am out of here this time. I love y'all. Y'all have a safe week, and I'll see y'all Saturday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Terror to Triumph with co-host Storm. We're going to be talking about some deep issues as usual, giving out some good information. So don't miss it. We'll see you then. I love you all. You have a blessed week.